Yep, I got your ad. There you are.
There we be.
I don't know about slightly lost, maybe a little more than slightly. I do not. It's probably just because I'm slow, but there it is. Okay, just showed up. I see us. Oh yeah.
Just make sure you're muting the stream.
Oh, that's me. They'll be here. This is my lunch.
This. It's like
Right
it's
here.
like FAMA's lunch. You can eat this.
Skip all of them. Yeah, yeah.
Just
Always
skip
skip.
them.
Skip them all. No, we can listen to obvious mixes.
I want to critique them.
Yeah, it'll give us a chance to do some early judging.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I may or may not use my steel for Avi.
For Avi.
He probably wouldn't defend himself anyway. He'd just respond back with some like positive comment in our direction to make us feel passive aggressively terrible.
Doesn't work on me.
Well,
or lack thereof. I have no.
It's tiny.
That's for sure.
Great. My hands are real close together when I'm shooting arrows.
It's not as much strain on your triceps. You don't have to hold the bow up as far. Me and Glenn play a Elven Assassin, which is a bow and archery game on VR all the time, and it's a fucking killer arm workout.
Yeah.
You play for like 15 minutes, your arms are
That's
on
pretty
fire.
much what that's probably what I look like though, is that little bow.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
You shoot bows and arrows at trolls and orcs and goblins and dragons and stuff.
Yeah.
You have to defend a castle. It's like a tower defense game, except you have to actually shoot everything yourself, and it's a workout.
It is a work. And then you have to dodge things, and then you're doing lunges, and it's not. It's pretty active, but your arms hurt in the morning.
It's no Beat Saber. We'll leave it at that.
No Beat Saber, that's for sure.
I have, yeah.
A little bit.
Glenn's on
I've
his
been trying to
grind.
get. Yeah, I've been trying to get up in the Audica, a little bit further. I think I'm 26, but it's like a huge gap now up to the next spot. It's gonna take a minute.
Gotta get that top 25.
Luckily, I'm a teacher and I have the summer off, and that's what's gonna happen every night.
Like 2 hours of Audica grinding.
Oh yeah. Right. I do not. I don't get paid during the summer, but I don't have to work, which is nice. Oh yeah. Yeah, I actually used to work a second job. I worked at a Italian restaurant, go figure. But it was pretty fun serving and bartending, and then I met little Jetty Machete, and I watch him during the summers now, and then she takes care of the the mortgage during that time, which is pretty nice. Right. Yeah, it's tricky for sure. I honestly don't know how people would do it starting out now with the house pricing so high. It's like crazy right now. But
You just
I
kind of
don't
have
know.
to save when you start and be like, all right, start of the school year, gotta put away 2 months worth of wages to cover you
Yeah.
for.
It's hard with all my spending habits, but
Yeah,
uh,
like VR, new computer,
yeah.
all these
It's
games,
like-
gifting games to me.
I do. It's really fun though because I get a bunch of gift cards for like Teacher Appreciation Week, and then my whole summer is me using the gift card. So I'll go to like Chick-fil-A and then Barnes and Noble. I'm like, I don't really know what I need here, but got a gift card. Oh, we love the Visa gift cards, where you can have that freedom to choose what you want to do or eat during the day. You're like, oh, I don't have to go to McDonald's because I have a McDonald's gift card. I can go somewhere else, which is pretty nice. But yeah, that's right. That is right. We love we love gift cards. Yeah,
Yeah, they can't eat books. Just remember that.
that's true. And the coffee mugs we have plenty of. I do have a new one for every day in the summer, which is good.
Oh, man.
Uh, yeah, it's a lot.
The machete's over here like, bro, just give me an apple, dude. Just give me the
Yeah,
old
I'll
traditional
take the
apple.
apple. It's fine. That they love to give chocolates too, and we get to fill out a sheet of what our likes are at the beginning, and I I put Mountain Dew, so my whole class got me like cases of Mountain Dew, and now I don't know what to do with it all. But yeah. But it asks us like most of the teachers are girls too, and it's like, "What's your favorite flower?" So I always put cactus just because I don't know what to put. And then I have a bunch of cacti sitting on my desk.
It's
I'm like,
harder
"Great, I
to
don't have to
kill.
water them."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Succulent.
That is a better idea. I need to start doing that.
And you gotta take care of
Yeah. I really like parsley plants. Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's like we're having parsley salad again tonight.
Yeah, looks like scrape it off. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna see what I can go hunt with my little bow, and then we'll eat that too. Let's do it. Ooh,
Oh, it's probably not until like 8:30.
yeah,
Uh, Central, my time. I only speak in
Central,
my
yeah.
time. Forget everybody. Everybody else there. Nobody in this chat is even in my time zone, and I'm just speaking at 8:30, guys.
Did you post a notification in the Discords? Did you ping people for the stream? Or did you? Oh, you posted in Fuser. Okay. I think it does. Yeah, I'm staring at it. I'm staring
Guess
at
what?
it. I can check. I can see if it pings me.
Guys are gonna miss all the free rivals hints here.
What we want to listen out for. What's gonna be?
Do this. I don't see it.
I did not.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, I thought it did.
You could just reply to it and ping them all.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I'm using my coaster, Glenn.
Oh, sorry. Yep. Oh, nice.
Okay, so
There it is.
mine's around here somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know where mine is. Somewhere also. Very cool. What a fun time. I hope we do that again someday.
What, you get married again
Yeah.
someday?
Maybe
Yeah.
not the
second
wedding
marriage.
part, but meet up.
Oh yeah.
And that breakfast, man.
Carolina Diner. We're road tripping
Carolina
out just
Diner.
for that.
Oh. The iced tea. Yeah.
He's
So
flipping over
good.
the tea. The skillets, man.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they definitely have the sweet tea covered here.
You Southerner at heart?
For iced tea.
Only for iced tea.
For me, I mean, the iced tea for me, the more bitter it is, the more I like it.
Ooh.
I can tell you're not a Southerner because no one here calls it iced tea. They just call it tea, and it's either sweet or unsweet.
Yeah.
And it's just assumed that if you ask for tea, you want iced tea, and then you want it either sweet or unsweet. If you have to say iced tea, I can always tell people are from out of town.
Yeah.
Just say tea, and if you want hot tea, say hot tea, like green tea or.
And I'm
whatever.
completely opposite. If somebody says tea, I'm boiling a pot of water for them at that point. So.
Exactly. Yeah, usually you'll ask. In the South, you'll ask if they want sweet or unsweet, but if they just say tea, you assume it's iced and you assume it's sweet.
I like my tea green and from Arizona. That's my kind of tea.
And from a can and from a gas station.
Yeah, from a can. Yeah.
And for $2.
Yeah. Big cans, 99 cents.
Oh, is it? Are they 99?
I think still around here they are, but
I
they
think
probably
that's
removed that pricing somewhere else.
I think they're sticking to it. I think they're doing 99 cents on every can.
Pretty good.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Shattered. Let's hear it.
Watch the way I tear it down. Tear it down.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
I think this is the only time like I've ever heard. I mean, Walking on Sunshine, it's just one of those tracks that you barely see in this game, and it's very niche. But it's like just to use it as like a vocal chop and a loop, and then just you drop the octave on it. It's like it's the only time I've ever heard it in this context, and it works so well.
I remember sitting through like when I was making the crate for my mix, and I was like, you know what? I want to find something that not a lot of people have used, and back, I think this mix is what is it?
It's gotta be
42
like
weeks ago,
That's like gotta be 30.
and
at least.
back when they were still releasing DLC, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw it in there. And at first, I was trying to figure it out, and it wasn't working for me. But like Coefficient said, the vocal chops are huge, and that's one of my favorite things is to put a vocal chop in there and then drop it down an octave with that loop and pitch. And then I did the same thing with .com in there because I every mix I use has either loop and pitch, stutter, or a combination of both. So it worked out. But that was a fun one.
I have a question. What effect do you use on your bass in the first 32? It's the Silly Bros bass, I guess, or is it?
I believe it was still the Bit Crusher.
Okay.
Yeah, all the way straight down and then a little bit to the right. Once it gets that
Just a
static.
little fuzzy, yeah.
Yeah.
What was your deck filter on it, or deck effect on the end on the last?
I keep echo only delay in my back pocket in case I want
Really?
to transition.
Oh, right. 'Cause, yeah. So you can just let it carry out while you then turn
Yep.
around and set up the rest of the mix and drops.
Yeah, and that's when I do my little rewind and keep the hot clip going through the background. But we're allowed to talk about that now, right?
Sneaky.
Is it
No,
acceptable yet?
absolutely, yes, yes.
Can we
It's
use the hot clip glitch all the time?
it's only not acceptable to talk about when people accuse you of using it and you
Yeah.
didn't. That's what I don't like.
You filthy
Right,
clip
not-
right.
Oh, hey Ginger, hey Spartan, how's it going?
Twisted days of
Oh, he likes my cup of
Steve-O,
coffee. Yeah.
oh.
Oh, Baby Yoda, nice.
Yeah, he's got 29 more of those too, by the way.
I do, yeah. All for my students. We got. Oh, look at that
Holy
one.
crap.
What? Kind of a big deal. Yeah, huge.
You start thinking of bribes to offer us when the draft comes up.
I'm really excited for this Dream the Beat. I know everyone's gonna be thrown down.
You
Be
can
great.
speak ill of Avi while he's not here. This is gonna be the only time he's not here, so get it out now. No. You can speak ill of Avi while he's not here, so we can get it all out in chat before.
Oh yeah, they can't hear you apparently.
Oh, you can't be heard?
Oh, that's sad.
Oh.
Oh,
At least we found out
Getting all
now.
the kicks early, yeah.
she's working on it.
We're one of 16, so I consider that pretty early.
Avi bad, said
Oh
Ginger.
my god.
Based.
I said so many good stuff too.
She was
What the
just
heck?
railing
You
on
really
Avi
did.
the whole time, man.
Nobody
Some of the
said
Quotes that
anything.
you were saying, they were great. Oh, there we go.
Okay, I think people can hear me now. Okay, let me go back. Okay. If chat, you have any questions for the captains on like for the part, like, because I'll be playing their mixes, right? If you have any questions about, oh, what went into this mix, or how did you do this part to make it sound like this, or the inspiration, or whatever it may be, just put it in chat and then they can answer you. I think this is like the best time to interrogate these captains, except for Avi. Avi couldn't make it because he's traveling right now, as usual. He's always traveling, man, living the
When's-
life.
When's the what time is the deadline for entries for the draft?
Okay, so the draft is, I think it's 8:59 p.m. Pacific, 11:59 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
But basically just, have it in by tonight so that tomorrow morning I can start working on it. I'm pretty flexible with it.
So
But
if you
yeah.
learn anything in this stream, just hurry up and get that mix out.
Do it.
Yeah.
Nah.
Also, for those, there are a lot of changes from Rivals last year, and also for the new ones who was not here for Rivals. Basically, how the drafts go is that the captains have one wild card to use, and the wild card is basically like a buzzer. If they hear a mix, remember it's all anonymous, so a blind audition, so they don't know who did which mix, right? So if they listen to a mix and they really like it, they can use their wild card, their buzzer, to say, okay, I want this person who made this mix to be on my team. And then you are automatically basically straight into the team battle for Dream the Beat. However, if more than one captain wants that particular person, you get to choose which captain you want as your team captain, which team you want to be on. So I think this, okay, I guess Viserys is kind of at a disadvantage here because it can't really get to know him on a sort of personal level. But I think this is the best time for you to listen to how each of the captains talk about the mixes. Maybe you feel more of a vibe with one of the captains, and so happen if, let's say, all captains raise their cards for you, right? Which team do you want to be on? I think it's a good time for you to think right now, instead of on the spot. It's like, oh shoot, I don't know who to pick. But if you already have kind of like a first person I'll pick is Machete, second person will be Skee1ball, third will be Coef, and fourth will be Avi, for example, right? Or you can just go based on their weapons or lack thereof.
No, don't do that. It's a terrible idea.
It's like,
My little baby bow.
Aww. But Spartan, I thanked you for the raid, which nobody heard me, of course, because my mic was... Well, okay, so my mic wasn't muted, but my Streamlabs input was switched. So that's why it wasn't working. All right.
Ooh, Spartan hasn't been to sleep yet. He also had a question for everyone. Can I take that?
Yes, go ahead.
Real quick. Perfect. He said, what drives you to create something that makes people's jaw hit the floor? I'm gonna go with the reason I started. I loved Fuser from the beginning. I've been playing it for I bought it from my brothers and my sister, and we were all really into it, just that musical background. And then I was on Reddit and I saw someone post that DJ Soundstorm had viewed their mix, and I was like, oh, who's this guy? We need to go check that out. And I sent a mix in and I was like, hey, if you have time, take a look. And he did, and I watched the stream back. I don't even think I caught it live, but I saw it and I was like, oh, he had some comments, and he was like, wow, Machete Coletti, you really got this thing down. And I was like, okay, yep, that's addicting, and now I'm gonna keep playing this game for another year or two. And that was probably the point that I realized I'm addicted to positive feedback and wanted to keep going.
Addicted to positive feedback.
Wait, so
Yeah.
he found you at random on a mix?
I saw him on, someone was posting about him on Reddit. It might have been Ben.
Yeah.
Who was back in the day, still is the huge Reddit guy. But yeah, I think, and then I went on the Twitch channel and I was like, oh, this is cool. He's a real DJ, not just some guy on the internet. He's a real DJ.
Unbeknownst to you,
Yes.
he is just some guy on the internet.
exactly.
According to the
But it was
T-shirt.
addicting enough that I was like, "Oh, cool! I wanna get better." So that's what drove me.
Anything from Skee1ball and Coefficient?
I mean, yeah, I kind of have a long-winded answer to that, I guess. I mean, when I think about, I have like 3 goals that are kind of unconventional when it comes to making a mix, and I don't always succeed in these goals. Um, but I have like 3 goals slash objectives, and one of them is like I want something out of that mix to make somebody go, "What the hell? What?" Not because like attention to myself or anything like that, but like that keeps me trying to find those type of things, and then like present it to somebody else so they can learn from it. The other thing that I would like in a perfect ideal world of a mix is that I want something to happen in a mix where they're like, oh wow, that okay, I'm paying attention now. And then you look down at the deck and you're like, this thing still has 40 more bars left and I'm already loving it. Right. You want to get those hooks in throughout a mix. Um, and the weird one that I have is I tend to want you to forget how the mix started because I want it to take you to a place in a smooth way, but then be like at the end, just be like, oh, I don't even remember how we got here, type of thing. Right. So now I'm not saying any of my mixes in the show is going to do any of those, but that's kind of like the mindset I have about like evaluating or trying to make something creative is I usually throw in those 3 goals.
Okay.
And then for me, I just like to try new things that are sort of unexpected. I guess we've sort of gone through a whole repertoire of different like not niche but nuanced things in the game. Like it probably started with some simple stuff like stuttering, and then everybody was like sees the potential of stutter. People use it, and then Rosen introduced like bit crushing your 808 and your sub bass and like making it real speaker knockery, and that was really impactful. And so I just try to look for things like that, like tape stopping for transition and filter sweeping as of late, and just things that can help you keep your smooth transitions, because the music in the game is, you know, no one's arguing that it's not limited to a degree. We all have access to the same things and we all know what it sounds like. So making it interesting is the most difficult part. Making it sound interesting and good is usually a challenge. So just things like that, tight little transitions, adding little, you know, one shots for 2 beats and different drum fills and things like that sort of keeps me going and helps me come up with ideas that I think sound good. And I like to mix in a producer mindset, repeating motifs, like use the same drop similar the second time around in a 64, but change it up a little bit and make it really impactful for the, you know, the culmination at the end. But yeah, I try to do it in like a actual production style of mindset when I mix, and try to come up with interesting stuff like that. So
Building a composition, essentially.
right.
Great stuff.
Good question, Spartan. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Okay, let's play one more mix and then we can answer the next question. Photon is hungover.
John, what's up?
I already have the answer to the next question. I already know
For
it.
those of who don't know, Photon is my co-host for Dream the Beat. Remember, get your draft mixes in by tonight. Okay. Okay, next one is Skee1ball, Floating Through Savagery. Yeah. Your mixes are always so immersive, Skee1ball.
Okay. All right, here I am. I'm back here. Just living a nightmare over here having to watch this.
Why?
Nothing.
Why?
Just hard. It's hard. Just hard. So I made this mix for Lemon. This was her birthday party mix.
So Lemon is another streamer, and she was a guest judge on DTB 7.
Seven,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
And I thought her commentary during the mixes through all the ones that she reviewed was very, I don't know, very artistic, right? I mean, she compared a lot of it to art, and she used certain words. She used savagery, she used floating, and so what I ended up doing for her mix here was I wanted to take this idea of having like amount of floating through feeling, but also like some kind of raw nature that comes in towards the end. Um, this is the mix that utilizes delay on that 32 drop, where the hard light basically starts sinking straight up into the don't you dare, but it doesn't only do don't you dare. They all kind of filter up to the same note. The let's go green does, and so does the sour candy yellow. So if you like try to redo that drop in a different key, it's not going to sound like this at all. Trust me, I tried. But yeah, it's essentially basically making use of the delay, which is a lot of what I've been doing recently in a lot of these mixes today. It's also the first time I ever used tape stop, so and you can blame Coefficient for that. I only did it slightly, but yep.
You used to like a wake up, right? Like you had it enabled on your base, and then you disabled it going into 8, right?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the easiest way I could do it because I can't do the magic.
Do it on the fly.
Yeah.
That's I can get to.
Also, I don't think that yellow, that EXO, man, it's such a good yellow, and it just blows my mind that that whole track is I think 157. It's like when you start dropping that down into that, you know, mid 90s and under 120, it just completely changes it. That was actually the yellow that I used when I won Mix of the Week once, and it was just completely different vibe from what the original track is. Also, tidbit: the hardest drop in that entire mix was landing that hard lights yellow right after the first 16, because just getting it to land right on that effect, it was causing wobble, or it was causing sudden just increases in volumes, and to get it to do that, if I messed up anything else at that mix, I probably would have kept that mix just because of that one drop alone.
Okay. Okay, so Spartan's question earlier was question for all. Which is your go-to track when mixing and why?
I think I know Skee1balls. I think he's a hard lights guy or a hold on infinite guy.
Yeah, the hard lights yellow and the hold on infinite drum and the time for crime green. It just when I need my mix to just start going, that's when you see that time for crime green come in.
And then I want to take a stab at Machetes. I think Machete is a young, dumb, and broke for drums and bass, or low for drums and bass. I can't think of the yellow that he goes to though.
Am I that predictable? You got it.
No, all right. Need you guys to guess mine then. If I'm gonna guess both of yours.
Sour
That was
candy
good.
yellow.
I was
Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I was thinking Young Dumb for drum and bass. I also saw that you used Skee1ball the inside out drums in there. I love those inside out drums. Just I mean, as soon as you get to 16 and it has that little pause and then it kicks in, it's like
Yep.
my favorite little drum.
Yeah, they fill it. It's filled at 20, right? Like it's just kind of metronome for the first 4 bars at the drop, and then it has the fill into the build, and then it drops hard at 24. Yeah, it's a great drop.
I love that. So good.
Oh, you guys are so observant and have such good memories.
We all have like thousands of hours, so
Yeah. I don't know if that's a good thing, but
there's only like 180 songs, and we played the game for thousands of hours. So
most of the hours come from redoing mixes that we have to spend.
using these stems.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess. All right, and then Soundstorm is having his stream tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Time, around that time. I don't think I'll be able to drop by because my mom wants to go to the casino. So after this, I'll be going to the casino and I don't know what time I'll be back. But Central Time, Pacific Time, I'm pretty sure I won't be here by 8:30 Central Time. So yeah, how long? But his streams are usually pretty long, right?
Oh,
they can
yeah.
go a while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So maybe when I come back, he'll be on.
And he's doing an interesting anniversary stream today where he's playing one of everybody's older mixes and then one of their newer ones.
Mm-hmm. And you get to choose which older and newer ones, right?
I believe so. Yeah. I mean, I did. He may just go in there and be like, screw it, I'll do what I want. So
The evolution of the mixers.
Okay. All right. The next one is so this is the Viscer's one. Who Captain? He isn't here right now, but we'll play his mix and then he won't be here to comment though. Viscer's DTB6 Rivals Round 3 mix.
This is the one he won with, right?
Maybe.
He wouldn't do that, would he?
Such a strong mix.
I remember him saying during the final that I think his girlfriend was like, "Can you make the Apple startup sound?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'll give it a try." And that's what that intro was completely based on.
Yeah,
I remember him saying that.
Yeah, I totally forgot. Yeah, I vaguely remember him mentioning that before.
Yeah, I just the way I need to sit down and have more conversations with Avi, honestly, because the number of effects that he uses, it just still blows my mind how smooth he makes everything, specifically in his transitions. Because I've always struggled with transitions when it comes to having that. He's got effects on all four of those on those discs and on the deck itself. And I love the summer hair, like summer hair. That last aid of summer hair on that yellow is so outer worldy that people have been sleeping on that one, I think. But yeah,
And he usually does it all without pants too, which is pretty impressive.
thank God he's got pants in all these videos. I already checked.
Spartan said, "Put some pants on, Avi."
Okay, question for the guests. What's the longest time you have taken or prepared for making a mix?
I'm not answering this one.
Well, minus the trying to export to get a good export. Minus that part.
There have been 2 cases. It was for actually the Call Me Maybe, a troll that we did for Soundstorm. And one of the mixes in here tonight, I spent over 15 straight hours on. 7 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock at night.
And that doesn't even include trying to export it?
I mean, that's kind of what the problem was, like getting the loops to land right and playback right and not crash.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing though. I mean, like, minus the whole issues with Fuser being wonky, like, how long have you taken to actually figure out what tracks to use, where to drop everything, and you have everything, like that whole thing, without thinking about, oh shoot, it's not playing right, I have to redo this because it exported wrongly? None of those.
I would say composition wise it takes about an hour.
Oh, just an hour?
But sometimes it'd be like I've got nothing here and I'll quit and then I'll come back to later. And then
Right.
I'm actually generally surprised that I even come up with anything at all, because when I start, I have no idea where I'm going at any time.
Yeah. A lot of the time you go in with like a half of an idea, you're like, oh, these kind of sound cool together, and then you're like, how the hell am I supposed to make a 64, bar mix around that cool idea that I have? So you end up spending the vast majority of that hour, doing the composition, or just trying to record the first half of it and then figure out the second half. But like, as far as like length goes, I mean, compositionally, obviously, me and Machete did the back-to-back one, so that
good.
that took a long time to compose. Like because we weren't really sure how it was going to sound. The hardest part about that is not knowing how the other half sounds on top of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So because we were in a position where you had to export them, overlay them perfectly matched up. We figured out that Machete was using an Xbox One X, I was using an Xbox One original, so the frame rates were different, so they couldn't line up perfectly. So he had to go use his old. It took us, in total, roughly a week and a half, 2 weeks worth of time, but in altogether with hours, it was probably close to like 70 to get it executed and to.
So these are all. I guess it can kind of be seen, but these are all the notes that we had taken about that mix that we made together, and it was pages and pages and just going back and trying to figure out exactly what bar we had to do everything on and what his part was and what my part was. We had so much fun, but it was also the most stressful mix I've ever made. But
I really wish we could have a behind the scenes of the production of this mix. I think it'd be so cool to be able to hear your discussions. I mean, obviously not like all your discussion, but snippets of it, like to give us an idea of like how did you guys even do it? Like, I don't okay, so did you guys decide who would be the one who mixes first and then the other one does it based on how I don't understand.
We did both parts at the same time, right? So we started from the beginning. We were like, all right, so I've got a cool idea for an intro. We want to use the bop lyrics and And then after they say let's go, cut it out, add some cool kind of eerie arbs, and then we'll add some bass and some drums, and then we just kind of spitballed. And so the way that it went about, we were like starting with some ideas. We would go into private freestyles, just us individually, not even together, and we would just spitball ideas with some crates that we made. And then when we had a half of an idea, we would jump into a private co-op. We would show the ideas off to each other in a private co-op, and then we had to obviously execute it in the private co-op. So you're like, oh, this is how we should do it like this. And if you miss it, you got to wait for the next round to come around and do it again. We weren't like streaming it or anything, so it wasn't super seamless. But we would be like, oh yeah, I like that idea, or we would experiment with some different loops, and we would go into co-ops. We would have each other snapshot different loops that we made for like custom instruments, like a wobble bass or a electro drum machine, and trade those instruments off and to be used. But yeah, it took so long, and it was very unintuitive as far as like the means of production that we had in the game to do something co-op, but it was an absolute slog.
And all this was like, these were my notes, but I had to write everything down. And this guy was over here like, oh yeah, remember yesterday when we talked about me doing this on bar 16 and then going forward to bar 24 and then 36 is going to be dropped and then we're going to tape stop. I'm like, let me look at my notes real quick. And I went through, and he's like, very rarely did he even need my references. He was just like, oh yeah, I know what we're doing here.
I can remember most of the mix now still.
That is crazy. Your memory must be like pretty good, Coefficient.
Only for really obscure, nonsensical crap that doesn't matter at all. So like this mix it has a special place, but like other things like my brother's birthday and stuff, that kind of makes off to the wayside a little bit.
Okay, so Spider's leaving. Oh, go to work. Okay, have fun at work, Spider.
I would definitely suggest that anybody, like, this is my fuser only notebook, right? And I'm about 50% through it so far. I would suggest anybody take down notes, take down specifically effect settings, what you used, because for me, like, if I go in one night, I'm gonna forget it the next day. I'm gonna find something cool. I really have something at hand where I can write down things and pairings and effects, because it's really hard to recreate. A lot of that 15-hour mix with crashing, you had to go in and recreate every single one of those effects, and you'd be like, well, was it in this section of or is it slightly to the left? And then it just completely changes the sound of your mix, and it's frustrating. The only problem is I can't read my own writing, so it usually goes for naught.
I do the same thing, Skee1ball. I have so many videos on my phone of just me moving the joystick to show what effect I have and where it was located.
Screenshot,
And I'm
yep.
like looking back and I'm like, oh, yep, that was there. I need to go there.
For those who haven't heard Machetes and Coefficients, do you call it a duet? What is it?
It's like a back-to-back, side-by-side, whatever, collab
mix. Let me play it for you guys, because I think this is, I don't know, it blows my mind every time I watch it, Here you go.
Thank you.
Bonus track.
I needed some Horsemen, though. Around and I shut it down. Let's go. I needed some Horsemen, though.
I can't. My brain can't I can't. Ah.
Every time I hear that thing, I think to myself, I'm gonna go in and watch what the mixes sound like individually and see how terrible they sound by
Oh, it's
themselves.
so bad. They don't exist individually because we couldn't we had to delete them so no one would watch them before it was collabed together.
Oh wow.
I remember
Like,
that.
I
too.
want more of these collabs. Like,
so
I
hard.
want to make a Fidelity album of collabs. Right now, I only have one in that album. I only have one. Oh man, that would be so cool if I had a bunch of them.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I recommend people do it. It's quite the undertaking, but if you have someone with compatible software that you want to work with on that and have, similar creative interests, then by all means, just prepare yourself for a long and arduous journey. But it was a lot of fun, and that's how I got to know Machete really well, and that sort of that whole thing just kind of sparked our friendship, and
Aw.
so it's one of those things that I can highly recommend for the people if it's someone that you think you can get along with and have creative interests with, then yeah, go for it.
So how did you guys pick each other or decide because the way you're saying it's like as if you guys weren't that close before,
Yeah, so it was actually at the end of Daft Punk, right? We were just kind of joking after the Daft Punk Soundstorm's Daft Punk event, which Death Jester and I split first for. Glenn just approached and was like, we should do a collab, and I was like, actually, I kind of really like that idea because he announced the Festival Trap event would be, a couple of weeks after that. So we asked him, got clearance, and then he'll claim ignorance. He says he has no idea that we were doing this, but I gave him fair warning that we were going to collab on this, and yeah,
I think he thought it wasn't going to be that good. I think he's like,
Yeah.
go ahead, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, and then we spent the entirety of Machete's spring break for teaching, doing this in March.
I mean, you're on spring break right now.
Summer break.
Yeah, summer break's coming.
Yeah.
I definitely had my parents here when we were working on that mix, and every night I would go back up, and they'd be they came down from Pennsylvania, and they're watching TV, and I'm like, I'll be right back. I just got this idea. I got to meet with Coefficient real quick and see if I could lay it out. And then I'd be up there for like 2 hours. They're like, we're still here. I was like, yeah, I know, I'm coming. Sorry. But
10 minutes.
yeah, it was fun.
A lot of work done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you guys will be open to working on another one again.
We've spitballed the idea, but we never really got the time. We never really got the ideas that we wanted to do it. It kind of just fell by the wayside. But maybe.
Oh man,
It's coming.
Blows my mind all the time. When I think I knew about this because I was asking Machete, hey, do you have any mixes uploaded to your YouTube that I could share? I think, right?
Yep.
So you shared I think 4 links, and one of them was this, and I was like, what the heck? I did. Oh my god, that was
Where
crazy.
did that come from?
Yeah.
Like 6 months after it happened, right?
Yeah.
Okay, next one is finally Coefficients mix. It is the DTB7 round 3 mix.
Oh, the one that I lost a Skee1ball on, yes.
Oh, yeah.
But
And
yeah,
then,
the
and
one.
then beat him again. Got my revenge.
But I don't care. This feels so right. Just hold me down, hold me tight. Don't know where you don't care. I can see you're still afraid now, but I can feel our hearts
So how was it? Like coming up with it?
Yeah, I had a good basis to go on. Obviously, I just remixed one of my submission for DTB round DTB 7 round 3. So I liked my ideas. I just felt like I could execute them a bit better and add more to it. So that's what I started with. One of the cool things that I liked about this one was the trance piano stabs. Obviously, like the trance housey first drop. It's actually it's cool because it's got that trance loop obviously with the stutter applied, and I have to swap it out to refresh the stutter on the next chord. But I'm actually clip locking the same loop. That's why you hear like the trance piano pickups there between like transitions of bars. It's otherwise the stutter wouldn't pick it up because it's holding the same note throughout the bar, but you still get the pickup right before the next chord because it's being hot clipped over top of it as well. And then another thing I really liked in this one was the build up into the last drop with the double marching snares. The rhythms of the Silly Bros and the Heart and 12th drums match the same sort of rhythm of the Animals lead for the super saws going up into 24. It's like dun, 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 and the drums match that pattern. I thought that was pretty cool when I found it. But yeah, I was just I really like this mix. This is one of my favorite mixes that I've done. So yeah, I put a lot of time into this, obviously, with the first draft and then the remix. So
Okay.
What were you using on the drum? Was that Vibe?
no, I think it just had a bit of. I think it was high passed. I think I left it high passed from the intro because you know the what's that break for me vocal is super loud, right? And it's super full. So I actually have it high passed throughout the first 32 to sort of take a little bit of the low end out. And then I'm pretty sure I just move the high pass down to where it's doesn't take as much out of the snare. So I think I just left high pass on. I just didn't have time to turn it off. I just kind of slid it a little bit to make it a fuller sound for the drum.
Yeah, the way that it hits on that Silly Bro snare is just nice. Yep.
Okay, so that was Coefficient's mix. The next one is Machetes.
Ooh.
Let's do that.
Oh, Toucan.
Is this Toucan? Yeah, here we go.
This is your Trop House?
This is my chop house, yeah.
I see myself in your eyes. 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 Tell me, babe, wanna leave this time? You say it, love it if you wanna go on now. Meet me at the corner. I'll be waiting for you. I can take the weight off of your shoulder. I don't care what hour, if it's rain or shower. Whatever you ask of me, you don't have to worry. There's no such thing as too much. That's too much. There's no such thing as too much. That's too much. And I feel the same. I've never been one to wait. So get
I love how you use the pen pipes in there. I love it. What? Sorry, what effect did you use on the guitar, the Una Noche guitar?
I think that was probably just a pitch stepper.
Okay.
I tend to do that just to get a little bit of the echo effect on it, but I yeah, I really liked the transitions that I had vocally in this one. I remember Mrs. Machete was always like, "Why? I mean, your mixes are great, but you're listening to them in the car all the time, and maybe you can make something that you would hear on BPM or something." I was like, "Yeah, that's a good idea. Seems like a good opportunity to do that." So I wanted it to be like an actual song that I would hear on the radio on the way to work, and I feel like it did that. So this is one of my favorite ones that I've done. Um, those eyes vocals are so good. And that transition was one of my favorite ones that I've done, I think.
That one at the end is super buttery. That's so smooth. I love like the drums are like it's not super heavy because it's such a contrast because you use middle, which is like that loud ass drum and the plug snare at the beginning at your first drop, and then it's just like the nice housey drum from Eyes at the end is just so clean. I love that.
Thank you. I remember a lot of people using the pan pipes, and I had a feeling that was going to be in a lot of the Trop House mixes for his competition. So I was like, yeah, I'll throw a couple more in and hope for the best. But that was fun.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you got it.
I was just gonna say on that note, like I remember because this was your first round, right?
It was,
yeah. I remember going back because we were both in the final, I guess, or whatever, and I was going through and I was making a mix, and I must have had this mix in my head while I was making my second one because I was using a lot of that, the theme of the love song and panpipes and the Nocho Green, and then I was like, I think I just made his mix again, and I was like, or is it at least too close? And I was like, so I ended up scratching the whole thing and starting over. But yeah, I think that whole entire themes that felt like for that whole Trop House competition was that radio type of edit type of feel where you wanted to make kind of a full song out of it. And I think, you and I were right on the same page.
That competition was so good. There were so many good mixes throughout that whole thing. I remember like every mix that I listened to while he was playing them was like, wow, this is a contender. It's pretty good.
It's just the second time we made him cry. So
yeah.
And so Skee1ball, your mix, the tropical house mix, it uses pan pipes too?
The final round did, yeah.
Oh, have you shared with me before? Have I listened to it?
I'm sure you probably dismissed it or something.
Because I don't think I've heard any of your mixes that has pan pipes before. Not to my memory.
I'm gonna refrain from saying that my winning Dream the Beat for 9 was panpipes.
It had pan pipes in there? I need to go back and listen to it.
I think so.
I don't know. I really don't remember pan pipes.
Well, I don't even remember. It definitely had the little drum, the marimba, but maybe it did. Yeah, it did have pan pipes. Yeah, it did. Never mind. All right, no, maybe I'm thinking of melody. I might be thinking of the melody synth. Now I think about it.
If he can't remember, it's okay that you don't.
Yeah, it is exactly what I'm doing right now. I am trying to make it better.
All right. Question: what was your first fuser glitch trick you learned? By Spartan.
Glitch trick.
Hot clip. Definitely the hot clip. Because I was already rewinding every mix, every bar. Just that one kind of found itself.
True.
I don't know if it's a glitch, but maybe not intended. But the first thing I learned, I guess, and I only used it once and never used it again, is when you do the riser in the last 4 bars, so that it kind of goes out and never kicks into the riser.
Yeah. Like as an outro, right? Not as a transition from the first to the second thing.
Yeah.
Mine was and I don't know how many people use it, but I think the first thing I stumbled upon was club effect extended risers, where you and I had to show that I actually showed this to Machete back when we were doing um Festival Trap, but it's like
Our
in
duet.
yeah, our duet. But the club effect extended riser is when you start on one of the white noise risers, because traditionally if you hold down the riser using the alternate, it just plays a 4-bar riser and it just fills white noise for 4 bars over and over again. But if you do it in such a way that you start on something else and then quickly move over to the white noise, it will do the white noise for a full. You can do it for up to, I think it's 4 bars total, and I actually use it in. We'll see it in No Math Just Daft at the end of this. I actually use it there, but it's something that I just kind of stumbled upon within the first few months, and I was like, oh, that works. That acts very differently if you do it like this, and you can get custom white noise risers as opposed to the only 2 or 3 that are in the game as yellows. So I thought that was cool.
And there's also I don't know if I've ever utilized it in a full mix, but if you're doing like stutter or you're doing loop and you quickly, sometimes if you flip the right point, you're going to catch the loop of your previous stem so that they're both on the same
Hmm.
stem looping. But I've never really, that's actually been more of an annoyance when I'm trying to compose something, but there's some potential there as well.
Oh yeah, like shufflers and stuff. You get really cool
Yeah.
vocal chop.
I also like dropping it on the loop and pitch and then muting it out in certain spots so that when it
You can save
replays, it'll mute out those certain areas.
Yeah.
That's a fun one too.
Okay. All right. The next one will be Skee1ball's Return to Saturn 9.
Whatever happened to Saturn 8?
Okay. So,
Um,
what inspired this mix?
Nah. So the original one of this was actually to answer actually the Saturn 9 question. So the original composition of this was the 32, and I wanted to make like a alien like love song.
Mm.
And so I came up with that first 32, and but I wanted like, okay, well, what do I name my aliens? It's like Martian love song was already taken. That's already something's been used. I've seen before. Venetian sounded like blinds. Um,
Yeah.
Jupiter was boring. And then I was like, wait a minute, like Saturnine is actually a word that means gloomy and kind of pensive, right? So I went with Saturnine love song. So when I did the 64 of it, it's a return to Saturn 9 instead of Saturnine. So
Sneaky.
just looking at my notes here. So there's bit crusher on the drums because I wanted this kind of like that like sound of like jets, like in like a spacesuit or something. And then again, this is all mostly about delays um, and the mutes and just letting the bad thing about delays is it and when I was making this is like it's a good way for transitions. Like if you're like having a struggle with like how to make something drop and it's not really sounding, or actually the opposite of that. If you're lifting off a disc and it just kind of doesn't have a lot of like it's too abrupt or something, or like a delay will kind of like make that a little bit more smoother. But remember also that it echoes your mistakes, so just keep that in mind. Um, but yeah, this is probably one of my top 3 favorite mixes I've ever made. So I really like it. And I yeah, so
Okay.
that's it.
The Sweet But Psycho vocal delays were really good too. Those were smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love those.
I was just gonna harken to that. It's the fact that it's all in minor key and you use so like prominently major key songs in the bridge section after the first 32. It's like it gives you that eerie, unsettling, spacey vibe to it. Obviously, Sweet But Psycho is like has immaculate space vibes to it, but doing it in minor key makes it like eerie. And then I also what was I gonna? Oh, the going into your last drop at 24, the cascading like. Or I guess it's the opposite of cascading, like the rising. You get the no from the vocal, and you get the levitating kind of squeal, and you kind of just introduce those one at a time, going into the last bar. That's super cool. I like that little rising up part.
Yeah, there's like a lot of people. Like I do a lot of solos and a lot of mutes sometimes, and I think the first part of this is sometimes it's just really about I don't know how to say this, but it's like just focusing on what is the sounds around you and what you want to isolate. Um, and then it's really important when you come back that you come back on beat. If you come back, you need to make sure that when you're coming back off those solos or those mutes, that you're coming on a good point. And it harkens back. I mean, Soundstorm says this all the time about me ignoring what says perfect and what good, but this really kind of makes it like you're gonna find so much stuff if you're just listening to what you want to isolate and then how you bring it back into than just looking at bars.
Well, good job, Skee1ball. Really like this one. Saturn 9.
Yeah,
Alright.
well, the next 2 are a little bit more faster than this, so thanks for indulging me on the slog here.
Next one is Aviserus, who, those who just joined, he isn't able to make it today because he's traveling. Alright, it's called Jaw Dropper.
Definitely.
Avi, Avi, Avi.
This freaking mix, man. I swear.
That was
He submitted this one a few times for FAMA, and I don't think you've ever noticed this. So far in the notes that I've done for collecting all this stuff, there's a section for his name in here in this mix, and it just says, and I'm sorry, kids, I'm gonna say this. It says, "Fuck Avi, fuck this mix," and then it's just a random string of characters after that. Because
No, I read your comments.
this has probably always been my favorite mix that he ever did. And also, I'm sorry, but I must apologize. He sent me notes, and I have not been conveying them. So
Oh, yes, I remember that now. Okay, well, you only missed one, so
yeah. So let me say here. Okay. So first of all, he says most of these mixes have a good 5 to 20 versions that got scrapped in favor of the final mix presented, which I totally get that. In fact, if you ever see an FP on my mixes, it means first pass mix, which means I went back to original after screwing it up about 20 times in between. Let's see. Let's see. Does he say something specific on here? So for the Arena Beat one, which was the first one, he used. Well, I'm going to get back to that one. Oh, here it is. Shout out to Team Kishi. For Rivals 1, all my tracks from this event really were a team effort. He wants to shout out Sweet Bundy. He's Jitterbug. That's actually a very good track too. If you guys would catch that one. He said he honors that mix for single-handedly getting them all together on like a team base and just like kind of motivating everybody to take the bar higher with their mixes. Right, it was an incredible experience getting to work with all those guys. He doesn't say anything specific about the mix itself, but
okay.
for this one here, Job Dropper, his inspiration came from Rez, and I could totally see that. That was definitely a Rez-like inspiration mix there. AB structure with thick drops. That's how he phrases it.
Okay. DJ Soundstorm is in chat and he's having a stream tonight playing baby mixes, and then is it the most recent one or just more recent? Not sure. But yeah, check him out tonight. See, this is ABAB.
damn, like
But yeah, Soundstorm, he streams. I also see he played Hearthstone. Soundstorm, you play Hearthstone? What? I got some of my inspiration for the DTB Captain poster from Hearthstone. Like I pulled references from several games like Magic the Gathering and Hearthstone and some anime, and of course like games like League of Legends and Heroes of the Storm. It's a baby
what
mix.
game has a what game has an archer with a really tiny bow? That's what I'm curious about. That's
Clash of Clans.
it's tiny.
It is tiny. Do you know the anime Fate? Stay
No.
Night or something. Fate.
Fate Zero?
Night. It has Rin in it, and she has those gems, those stones, and then there's like this competition where you draw spirits from another world, and then you can either get paired with an archer, or you get paired with a berserker, or you get paired with like, yeah. So I remember Archer in that anime. I'm like, ooh, machete.
Nice.
Yeah. You have like the build of an archer too, like in real life. I mean, like,
Oh,
yeah.
Because he's short.
is that a cut? You. Yeah, sure. All right.
Oh my god. But yeah, I thought like when you guys picked your colors, and then when I got the commission drawing, I was like, wow, I actually can kind of see you guys as each of these characters. Like I didn't really have to change much about it. I think the only thing that I changed was I swapped some colors around, but that's it. Nothing
Yeah,
nothing much.
Coefficient being the giant, he's over here beating me at Beat Saber, and I didn't realize until I saw him in person that he's like 9 feet over top of the blocks, and he sees everything that's coming. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's helpful.
Must be nice, yeah.
Yeah, so you guys picking the colors that you picked was actually very suitable. Yeah, like Koef, like I can't see Koef as an archer, for example, right? So your shield was actually very.
So I'm the only one who can carry it. It's so freaking big.
And Avi just had to be naked because
Yeah,
that's just
naturally.
Avi.
That's his
Right?
personality.
Yeah.
Pretty sure, Spud. I think it is 9 feet.
Yeah, exactly 9. Actually 8'11".
8'11". Nice.
Okay, the next one is coefficients 3v equals -18 mix.
Solve it on stream.
KNLD Redux, let's go.
I'm rushing, hit a wall. Right now, I need a miracle. Hurry up now, I need a miracle. Strangely, reaching out. I call your name, but you're not around. I say your name, but you're not around. I need ya, I need ya, I need you right now. Yeah, I need you right now. So don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. I think I'm losing my mind now. It's in my head, down in a hole. That you need me when I need you the most. So don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. Don't let me down, don't let me down.
Touch me like you touch nobody. Put your hands all up on me. Tired of hearing sorry. So make it kiss and make up. How about we leave this party? 'Cause all I want is you up on me. Tired of hearing sorry. So make it kiss and make up. Touch me like you touch nobody. Put your hands all up on me. Tired of hearing sorry. So make it kiss and make up. How about we leave this party? 'Cause all I want is you up on me. Tired of hearing sorry. So make it kiss and make up. Kiss and make up. So make it kiss and make up. Kiss and make up. So make it kiss and make up. 아직 너를 못 만나고 원하고 있는 건지 언젠가는 끝날 걸 떠날 걸 알지만 당장 우리의 다시 붙어볼 수는 없을지도 말고 마지막 그 없어. Touch me like you touch nobody. Put your hands all up on me. How about we leave this party? 'Cause all I want is you up on me.
Man, that K-pop part always gets me. What effect did you use at the end?
For what?
There's a shh.
Oh, it's the yellow from Rip the Floor Open. It's a white noise. The entirety of that yellow is basically just a white noise track. So it's just a little riser that fills in, and then naturally the game just kind of does like a little reverb swell at the end of your track. So, but yeah, I just had like a white noise outro into lift off into nothingness.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I got shout out for stuttering on Rose in there for Blackpink. I gotta.
Yeah.
Got a good song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, I mean the motif. Yeah, the motif here is just make a K-pop song. I was playing around. I found out that the bass went pretty well with some of the dubsteppy bass, like the wobbles from Rip. So the first inspiration I got was messing around with the grain from both, and then I was like, how do I build a track around this? And I said, we'll do the heavy one second. We'll do the heavy drop second, and then first we'll just kind of do some kind of future basic K-pop stuff. Don't Let Me Down works really well. They're in a very similar key. and they're also very similar in BPM. Like this song you cannot play super fast, so this mid tempo works really well for both, and that just kind of mix it up and make it busy and K-poppy and stuff, and then bring out the heavy stuff and just kind of let that ride because I thought it sounded really cool. So
One thing I learned from Coefficient too is his ability to know exactly when the best sounding mutes would be and the solos, and I mean just from working with him on our duet, as he called, I really like that, on our duet. He is so good at just listening to when those solos should be, and it changes like the whole like vibe of the mix to a certain level.
Right. Those
But he's such a pro at it that it's just I'm always expecting it. Especially with his tape stops too into solos, I'm like, it's coming, and then he makes it sound perfect. It's so good.
Yeah, the 1 bar vocal drops was definitely something I picked up from him. Yeah, just knowing when they're gonna do the right here at this point, and then forget the rest of the track. So yeah.
yeah, it works. It works with the ever since the clip locking, because it could be a little vanilla at times back in the base game before clip locking was a big thing, but like having it fill in with a lead or something like the ARP from Latch during that second drop, it kind of fills it out a little bit more. It makes it impactful, but it's not so naked. So having something in the background, and as opposed to like trying to mute 2 discs and leave 2 on, which is an absolute cluster frick trying to do live for 2 beats. It's cool to just have something clip locked in the background and then just do a solo mute. It's a lot easier to do that way. So
Yeah, like you could have like a vocal playing the whole time, and then you just go in and solo the drum, and it basically you just found a way to mute 3 discs at the same time right there.
yeah, and keep 2 running so it's not super empty.
Okay, guys, do you have your CDs with you? Show it to chat.
Oh yeah, I gotta go get it.
Let me grab mine. 2 seconds.
Hi, C-Tax. Welcome, welcome.
All right, there it is.
I made CDs for them.
I love it so much. It's so cool.
Oh, and
Look, it really accentuates my small tiny bow. It's like it's real obvious right there. Look at that.
There you go.
Oh, so cool.
Do you drive to work, Machete?
I do, and I listen to it. I've been listening to it in my car.
So you have like a CD player in your car?
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice.
It's nice not having to like hook up my phone, but I still do it for the other Fidelity mixes. But
yeah.
It's nice having the CD version.
Yeah. I really wish like they still had CD players in cars, like in newer cars. Like I know CDs is like old thing. Now you have like MP3s and like USB sticks and whatever, but I like my CDs. I want to play a CD in my car, and it sucks that like they don't really have CD players in cars anymore.
It's sad. I feel like I'm really old, and I'm like almost like having a vinyl in my car that I can just scratch every once in a while just to mix up the.
No, I don't want to buy an older car. But I guess once there's like a period where like for 1 to 3 years when you buy a new car, after that like the warranty isn't there anymore. So I guess I could like say, hey, can you fix this in for me? It's possible, right?
Yeah, you just got to pay someone to do it. And
Yeah. I'll pay someone to do it.
So would you rather then have a car with no MP3, like no aux cord, no Bluetooth?
No, not rather. I want all.
Because that's what I've got. I've got no aux, no Bluetooth, so all I have is CDs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I want a CD and a USB port so I can play songs.
Those old cassette players that you put the cassette tape in, and it links to the CD player.
No cassette either. I'm completely up the creek on this one.
Oh man, I have like a ton of CDs that I used to burn before, and I bought some albums before, and I can't play them anymore because I don't have a CD player in my car. So it's like a waste for me.
No, you all haven't lived until you've actually had a car where you had the radio like out of the mount and it's on the seat next to you.
Yeah.
Hi, the
Cables running.
listener. How are you? Record players in cars, like the big round vinyl one. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
Oh
That'd
my
be awesome. Just scratch a
gosh.
little bit. Add your own effects to your car music. That'd be
Yeah,
Just-
hit a bump, ruin your vinyl.
yeah.
Just have a
Being tight.
one-seater car, and then your passenger seat is the record player. Oh yeah, 6-disc changer in the back. Wait, what do you mean in the back? I know, like I had a, well, not did I have a car
The
like that?
player's sitting in the back.
Where the CD player, you can fit 3 CDs in there, and you can rotate. Do you know that what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were awesome. So I could have like 3 in there, and I can choose which one I wanted. Okay, the next one is Machete
Oh, boy.
Razor Edge.
Oh yes. Razor.
Skee1ball, you're like kind of like blurred out.
Oh, he's
Yeah, it was when I put the
CD.
CD up close to it, and now it's stuck in autofocus.
Come on, refocus. Use your hand, maybe.
Horsemen.
This mix is so clean, Machete. So
Oh,
clean. I love it.
Thank you. This
So
was one that
good.
I hadn't mixed in a long time, other than event mixes, and I wanted to come back and prove to myself really that I could still make something that I liked. I was feeling like Skee1ball. It's very critical of the mixes, but
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
a walking verb now.
Yeah. But I also this is Techno Chords came out, and I was really excited for those, and then I always start with a little too much. I kept the stutter on a lot, and then I was dropping those vocal chops, and I usually keep them for more than just the 2 little cuts. And then I went back and listened to it, and had Mini Machete listen to it, and he was like,
Aw.
"Oh yeah, that's a lot. That's good." He just kind of says everything's good, but yeah, it ended up going through a lot of revisions, but I was pretty proud of it.
For this
in the
one, a
end.
lot of revisions for this one.
Oh yeah, this one.
Oh.
just not having mixed a lot in Fuser for a while, and then coming back and remembering all the crashes and everything that had not. They were still there, still present.
I thought it was super smart the way you had stutters on both your drums, but you hot clipped the drum in the background so there were still movements. So you didn't have to micromanage it all the time because you had Cradle's drum hot clip, right?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, so you could just kind of juggle between the stutters and not have to worry too much about making sure the drum was still doing stuff and not just
Exactly.
giving you hi hats. So
Yeah.
that was super cool.
Yeah, it's fun. Oh yeah, Ginger got my Final Cut Razor's Edge little pun there.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I see it now.
This mix was a part of the double down fix for Free Machete, right?
It was, yep. This one made it.
Where they just went out of the
Yeah.
blue and just like first person ever to be back-to-back mix of the week.
Yeah, I know, and it was so random. I mean, thanks to Soundstorm for always hyping up the mixes, and then Free and Machete, it finally happened. I had to get
Well,
married, I think.
Yeah,
Once I got
totally.
married, that's when it was fun.
I had to get married.
Married man better.
Okay, the next one is Skee1ball with My Own Path. Oh, levitating is so good in this one.
Oh, I was just gonna say that those levitating drums, when you had it affected so that it sounded like the marching and Your Own Path. I got it. I was loving it.
I was gonna say it sounds like this mix has its own built-in applause track because the delayed claps, it's just clapping every time.
It's so good.
yeah, it was the second mix in a row that I put levitating, and I think that the last one before this was the final for the last ring to beat. And I was like, I remember making a mix after this. It was like, I gotta drop this. I gotta take this out of my crate. I can't keep using this drum all the time. But yeah. Composition wise, like I've always been, we always talk about the way that I do progression, and this one just took it. I went out of control with the progression on this one of just like absolute like using loops to finish your progression was in the first after the first 16, and then using other drops to finish somebody else's another drop's progression. And yeah, this one was a ride, and I actually have like multiple versions of this, but this one was the brighter one. And again, this isn't the one that caused me the most pain, but it, like, when you start fighting with those loops like that, like, I don't know, I don't even want to think about what this sounds like in game, to be honest with you, because it does mess up the loops a little bit sometimes. But yeah, I really like this one again. And also, you see that time for crime green up there, as per when I usually want to finish something off like in that way. That's my go-to.
So good.
And that loop, the thing that I really probably won't ever get caught is that loop for .com, where it comes in. It sounds like that the singing is coming from the third disc there, the Don't Start Now yellow, but it's not. It's actually coming from that .com. And yeah, this is one of those mixes where it's like, you're gonna have to listen to it again. Even me, like, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot it did that and that and this and this. And, yep.
Yeah, Soundstorm, I didn't really think about it before, but you do play all your mixes straight from Fuser. So you must run into all sorts of glitches when you play people's mixes, right? So like, sometimes how do you judge when, like, because I know, okay, for example, I know one of Ben's mix, he submitted for DTB 11. His mix, playing it through Fuser, like, it was so obvious, like, glaringly a huge glitch. You know, the others are like, here, small glitches in there, but his one was huge. So imagine you having to judge something with such a huge one when you play it through Fuser. Like, how do you even go about that? Because all three of these guys will never hear the mix they made.
Yeah, I mean, like in this case, I sent him a YouTube. I sent him this exact link, like it, because I didn't want to take chances on it.
I see. So you swap from the Fuser game to like either YouTube or something you downloaded on your computer. Okay, I see.
Yeah, he'll throw us up like in game to just give us our profile a shot. But then yeah, we'll send them to YouTube, like if we feel the need.
It's pretty mix specific. Some mixes are fine to play in game. I've actually noticed, like, sometimes exporting, it's different for different people. Like the way I export and the way you export, it plays completely different. Like my YouTube video is different than your exports for some of these even. And it's, you know, it's not massive, but it's, you know, it is noticeable when you've heard it, you know, you've listened to it a half a dozen times.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just one of those things where it performs differently. So if you want it consistent, you export it yourself and you send it to someone they want it. You want to listen to it.
Yeah, even those twitters and those loops. I mean, if it's one tiny millisecond off, it just completely ruins it.
Yeah. And then sometimes as a listener, you don't know if it was a glitch or if the mixer themselves just dropped it a millisecond later or whatever it may be. You know, sometimes you don't know, you can't tell, right?
Right. And then or there'll be just like some little thing like, oh, it didn't do this, and then everybody's like, who cares? It was like one bar, and it's like, but it didn't do it.
Yeah, no.
I know
in
my
brain, it didn't sound right. So
yeah. Okay, so let's take a bathroom break for a few seconds. Not a few seconds. For a couple of minutes or so.
15 seconds. Good luck.
And I'm gonna play Machete's Rivals mix from last year, round 3, while we go take a bathroom break.
Perfect time to skip then. All right.
yeah, now's a good time.
Passion, passion. Passion, passion. Passion, passion. Passion, passion. That's my type of distraction. That's my type of shit black. Got my own flow, I'm about to get a pack. Brand new sheets for the bed they set. Y'all wasn't tuned in back then. But that's why they keep jacking. I ain't doing no first, quit asking.
Does this bring back memories, Machete?
It does. Thank you for doing that. That was a nice surprise. I forgot about whenever they had that Latin part and I dropped con calma in there. That was a long time ago.
And I also realized that you used two of the mixes that I like. Sorry, tracks that I like. So I really like Thunder, and then the part of the what is it called? Hidden Heart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The pum pa da dum. Yeah. I liked it, and I realized that you use both of them together.
I think that song was super prominent during this DTP because it had just come out. It was super good.
Yeah. It wasn't a requirement for that one, was it? I can't remember if it was.
I don't think it was, but I also used it. In my
I remember a lot of people using it. Oh, thanks, Chase. Good to see you.
Yeah. So Rivals last year, nobody had any. None of the team captains decided on a theme or anything like that. I don't know if this year you guys want to do that. I think it would be kind of cool to have some sort of theme or consistency. Like it could be even like everyone, let's use this one track. Or I think Skee1ball said something the other day. What was it? I don't remember. Oh, he said something about Skee1ball. What was your idea about the theme for rivals, for like captains, like having like a crate or something? Oh, I don't think he hears me. Hello?
No, I hear you. I'm just getting situated.
He just didn't respond.
So rude. Like not even his facial expression.
No, I thought maybe it might be a good idea if people are like struggling with kind of a direction, because I'm not a really big fan of making themes. I thought maybe if I could just list like, here are my favorite effects and tracks and a lot of that stuff that they could utilize in whatever way they want. Straight up, it's going to be Call Me Maybe, all 4 stems essentially.
Yep,
okay. Yeah, I think a lot of the effects we use are going to be the same anyways. So that was just my suggestion.
Yeah.
It leaves the chat, he said. Peace. I'm leaving.
He's gonna be sick during Skee1ball's mixes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Emergency.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool if you guys thought about maybe having some sort of something, one thing. It can be anything. Of course, it's
Christmas
still up to
mixes
you.
only.
Christmas mixes.
Jingle bells all the way.
Oh
We're gonna
man,
win.
I have been like wishing that they would just put in like Christmas songs, since it's like you don't have to pay for the rights, you know.
Right.
But
that'd be nice.
yeah. Oh well.
Well, the only Christmas song I want is Mariah Carey, so we probably have to still go for those, right?
Yeah, probably. All right, the
I'll
next
stutter
one.
her vocals so hard. Can't wait to loop and pitch that. That's gonna be great.
Okay, the next one is a Viscerous crispy chicken sandwich.
Well, speaking of
met Mama Line down in old New Orleans, strutting her stuff on the street. And maybe the night that my kids might let me know all the stars are born sure, all the stars are born sure, all the stars are born sure. Maybe the night that my kids might let me know all the stars are born sure, all the stars are born sure.
My lord.
All right, let me.
What Kindrum did with Man of the Bounce, Avi did with the chicken sandwich. That was
True. Move over Chick-fil-A.
yeah.
Wait, so how did he get his name for this? The crispy chicken sandwich, anyone knows?
Does he have
He
that
was
in his
probably
notes, Skee1ball?
hungry. He was just hungry, and he was like, eh,
He doesn't. He does not have it. He's got a mix called pasta sauce too. So I think he goes. Oh, no, actually, no. I think he did respond to me once saying like, he's just like I saw it in the fridge or something, and just not thinking what it became. I could fucking believe
Just
that.
saw
Too.
it in the fridge. Let me make a mix.
it's a killer mix out of what's in his fridge. That's pretty good.
Waiting for the coleslaw mix next.
I'm waiting for the moldy cheese mix or something.
Expired milk,
Yeah, grocery list mix, shopping list mix.
frozen pizza.
Okay, so his notes on this one: he found the hee stutter while messing around in the lab and just took it to the moon. A lot of my mixes will start from one stutter or warped stem and be built around different ways to combine and highlight it over the course of a 64. And I'm glad he said that because that was the point I was gonna make. Like, it is so easy to find a loop. He finds this loop within like the first 4, right? Maybe the first 8. It's early. But a lot of times when people use a loop, they overstay the welcome, to be honest with you. But he does such a good job of what he builds around it, or by muting it, or by hiding it and making you forget about it, which is actually something which is actually pretty cool. You can figure that out. Sometimes you can, with the hot clips, you can get them to forget about that loop, and then you bring it back again. And even when it flips over to the next 32, just he starts playing it full without solos or mutes anymore. I think it's around the 8, the second 8, he drops down different stems that actually make that loop sound differently. So it just keeps making it. He uses the same loop for half of the mix, but he does it in such a creative way that it doesn't, you never get tired of it.
Yeah.
I mean, other than just being tired of listening to an Avi mix, but
It's Avi. Yeah. So he found a chicken sandwich in his fridge. He took his pants off and he laughed to himself, and he came up with this. Is basically what we're finding.
I think the laughing comes before the pants go off, honestly.
Or as the pants come off.
Right.
I will say though, I really like the composition, like the last, like the house drop that he does, like when he gets the stutter and he does like the build up right to 24 and then he drops the house. It's just a nice little simple tech house, little kick and clap and hi-hat, and then the bass is subtle, but then when it goes into the breakdown, like when he brings in the going down for real drums and the halftime, and it's the sine bass, it's real plucky and fast. That transition is super. I love the way he structured that specific part of it. Is like it's super intuitive and just fits the bill to a T on this one. So that's the nicest thing I'll ever say. So don't expect any more of that. So.
I would like to know how many mixes his girl actually helps him on, because, I mean, I feel like he's just at the fridge the whole time yelling, "Hey, I see a chicken sandwich," and she's over there like, "Okay, I'll make a mix. You'll be good."
It's really her
I mean-
making the mixes the whole time.
Oh yeah, I mean, Mini Machete makes mine. He's 6 years old, so I just kind of stay out of the way and
Yeah,
let
it shows.
him do his. But you know, it's okay.
All right, the next one is Coefficient Ginger. Oh, is this a Ginger tribute or something?
It's a remix. Soundstorm had a Valentine's Day remix competition where he paired people up.
Mm.
And you had to go through their discography, find a mix you wanted to remix, and I found Smoking Gun, which was a popular Ginger mix, and redid it a little bit. So
Okay, Ginger, are you in chat? I know Ginger was in chat earlier.
Ginger was.
Let's play this
I
one.
think they bounced or had to bounce.
Yeah, so good though. Oh.
Yeah, the original was stellar as well.
Ooh, there, Ginger is here.
This track and the original one from Gender, I don't think I could listen to Lights again. Like if I hear those vocals, I'm just gonna think of this track. Like even when I have to use likes, I'm like, well, I can't do that, and I can't do that. It's in my head, and I can't do that.
So good.
ruin.
Because you might subconsciously create a mix following that tune, right? Like what you did with the Machete one before.
Yeah, well, maybe that, but also it's like a situation of like I don't think I've ever heard that song like outside of this game on the radio or anything. So it's gonna be like I'm gonna hear it like in a Walmart speaker or something, be like that they're playing that wrong. That's
Playing a Ginger mix.
It's
And a
a weird-
Coefficient remix.
a weird take on this song. I don't know.
I think one of the Fidelity albums should definitely be these I don't know, tribute, I don't know what you want to call them, kind of thing. So yeah, remix ones. So I will have like I don't know, should the original come first or the remix one comes first? Like if I put them back to back.
Original.
Probably original.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so I think it'd be cool, like the entire album would be the original and then the remix, and then the original and then the remix. I think it'd be kind of cool.
I agree, Spartan. Ellie would be proud.
It would be so cool, actually. Like, I wish like all these artists that their songs are on Fuser, that they could listen to how we utilize their music, you know, their songs. I don't know, as an artist, I feel like I'd be very intrigued and very, I don't know. What do you think?
I think there's so many remixes on SoundCloud of their stuff that they probably don't care anymore.
But it's different though, those remixes and the ones in Fuser, don't you think?
We've already got a taste of that with the minute, right?
Yeah.
So, let's just get Carly Rae Jepsen in here for Skee1ball. And...
Oh, God.
Please, this is a family.
Would Soundstorm be present for that one? I don't know.
If Carly Rae's there, he better be.
Any
I
questions
would love to
for?
put those. Sorry, I was just gonna say I would put Soundstorm and Carly Rae in a room and see what they talk about. It'd be great.
It's like, first things first. I hate your song. This one song. Not because of you. No offense.
No offense.
Any questions for this mix, or Koef, you want to share anything about this particular mix?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously I had a great basis to go on. I'm pretty sure Ginger won mix of the night with this one, so I had, you know, about as good of a basis to start from as you could expect. But I took it. I mean, the stems that they used were, I mean, I used a lot of the same stems, but they did it in minor key, and it was a bit heavier. It was sort of, it was a bit more solemn, if you will. Obviously, minor key brings that kind of eeriness to it. So I switched it to major key because a lot of the stems were just like natively in major, and I was like, I wonder what kind of vibe I can get out of it. And it just became a whole sort of almost hardcore, happy hardcore style of song. And I did some cool things that I liked. I did a lot of filter sweeping, like the first fake out, you know, high pass everything, and then bring in the drums at 20 and sweep the filter and the solo on Bloom. That took me, oh my god, to get that right. That probably took me like 80 attempts to get. I remember that. I mean, Machete knows as many as well as anyone could. When you get one section, you have to nail it perfectly. You can sit there and do the same section, you know, reverse the same bar like 200 times in a row until you're like, I finally have it, and then it breaks on export and you have to go do it another 200 times. So
Yep.
that was that Bloom section, because the way it operated, it was like I had to solo it, and then I had to individually swap all the discs into the Q slot, and then I had to unsolo it, and then I had to filter sweep so I could then
Oh my god.
full drop at the same time, all within roughly 6 beats at whatever this BPM is, like 140 or something. And it was just, oh my god, I was pulling my damn hair out over it. So I was glad it just finally fucking worked.
Yeah.
I really want to see like I said, another behind the scenes, like recording the person. Wait, you guys use a controller, right? Not keyboard, right? So
Right.
like having your facial expression and your controller and the screen of what's happening. Like I want to see like the, you know, like what goes on. I really want to see that. Maybe one
You
of
don't
you
want to
should.
see that.
Here's the
You want to see
preview.
like 30 seconds of that, like a TikTok video maybe, but you don't want to see the whole thing.
I want to see the whole thing. I
You should
do.
get okay.
It's like-
You should get me a cam that fits on my controller, and then it's on my face, and then all you see it just flying in there, and you see clouds, and then it's just sitting there
Get a little
pointing at the wall.
GoPro. Yeah, it's flying around.
The screen goes
Oh
black
my
because
God.
you spiked your controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have always been interested in, I really want to see it happen in real life, because like the amount, like what you were saying, Koaf, like I had to do all this swapping and changing and whatever in like 6 beats. I want to see how fast your fingers and your eyeballs and your I want to see how it happens.
It's more monotonous than anything, because you know exactly what you need to do by that point, and anyone in the chat can attest. If there's one part of a super technical part of their mix that they're trying to do, they know exactly what they need to do. and then you just either misclick something or you're not quick enough, or there's a million things that could happen, or it just doesn't sound perfectly right, so you have to go back. But
Yeah.
you have to go and you have to do your setup again. It's a nightmare, and it's super monotonous, and you're just sitting there for 30 minutes doing the same thing over and over again. So if you're watching that, you would just be like, just do it already.
Just do it already. You're like, I know what you're trying to do.
And to add even more frustration, I think it would be like even funnier to watch me do it, because what will usually happen is I'll do the drop and you'll be like, oh, he got it. And then you fucking see me do the rewind and I'm like, nope, didn't get it. And he's like, what was wrong with it? I'm like, nope.
Nope.
I heard it. I didn't hear
too
this.
far, and then you had the part down, and then you rewound it too far, and then you're like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Now I gotta do that. And by that time, you forget because it was an hour ago and you were 5 bars behind.
And then
It
you
takes you another
finally
10 minutes to do it.
and you finally get that second part nailed, and you go back and listen to the replay, and you find out you screw up the first part that you had to
Oh my
redo because you rewound too far.
God.
But the other one was fine, and you're like, all right, forget, I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, Spartan, you say I've done stuff live on Twitch. Yeah, but what I mean is I want to see your, because you don't have a webcam for one, and I don't think you also record what happens your fingers. Like that is what I want to see, not just what's happening on the fuser screen, but like your facial expression and your thumbs and fingers and clutching of the remote. That's what I want to see,
She wants the grit. She wants to see all the dirtiness that happens when you're recording a fuser mix.
Gotta get the controller overlay too that shows all the inputs. Oh, he's pressing X, and this is what his stick's doing. And
That's what I want to see. So.
She wants the claw. Give her the claw.
Oh god.
All right, the next one is machetes weak. Weak W. What's that?
Weak without a machete.
Weak without a machete. This is when So the
got your tag. This is where you got your tagline in, right?
This was remind me. This was the first time I found machete in the game, and I was pretty excited. Every mix after it, I feel like I've put it in some way or another, but it's definitely one that's near and dear to my heart. But I felt like those vocals that were like, you might think I'm weak without a sword, and then I threw in the machete. I feel like that was my favorite one that I've done with it. So
let's listen to it.
So what is the machete made from?
Remind me at like right before it hits 16. It's like halfway through, I think.
Yeah, the pre-drop. It's like it's like automatically, like the processing on it is like it's already tape stopped, right? Like it's just kind of.
Yep.
And it sounds like Machete.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
This is the one I remix this one for an event.
I feel like you did.
And I think we both got top 10. Which one did you remix?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This was an actual Fuser sponsored event in the game. They had, remix someone else, and I actually remixed this one. I wasn't super happy with how it turned out, but I think Machete and I remixed each other's mixes, and
We
they're
did,
both
yeah.
in the top 10.
That was awesome. There were a couple other people who were in Soundstorm stream that got in top 10.
Yeah, I think there were like 6 of us total that were up there. It was wild.
We all took a lot of time to do it, but it actually paid off. It was cool.
I gotta say, during evaluations, everybody in the chat can attest to this. Buru was easily the most social Fuser player in the lands, and I saw probably 20 dedicated to Buru of the 50 I listened to during eval. So I was just like, oh my goodness.
That's very true.
Did you know that you were doing each other's remixes?
Yeah,
I think we talked about it.
We did talk about it briefly, yeah. It was just like pick another Fuser player and redo their mix, but I can't remember if you told me which one to do or if I just
I think you just picked one, because I just picked one.
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't remember which one you did though.
That was a fun one because then it stemmed to yeah, it was an equation that I could easily solve because I remember being like, oh, I want to make sure I can solve this one or at least have the title for it. My 3rd grade math skills, I mean, they're not really on par with what he's doing.
Yeah, algebra is like at least 6th grade, so.
Yeah.
That event was the reason we had a Valentine's event. I see. And it's actually a pretty good one. Doing remixes of each other's. Why is Storm not in VC with these guys? Oh, it's because this is the Dream the Beat Rivals captains for the upcoming Dream the Beat show. So we're just getting to know the captains prior to Dream the Beat for contestants. I need breaks too.
He's had his time in the spotlight. He was the former Rivals judge.
Yeah. Soundstorm was the captain for last year's Rivals. And then this year it's a Viscerus isn't here, but it's Machete, Skee1ball, Coefficient, and a Viscerus who are captains this year.
We wanted him to be here in place of Avi, but he would have worn pants and it just wouldn't have felt right.
Yeah, that's true. I think we should shout out Soundstorm for being able to guess and like knowing ahead of time last year's Rivals that he could almost accurately guess what, like 80% of the people just based on their mixes.
Yeah.
And we had only been playing the game for like 6 to 9 months at that point, and he was like, yeah, that was definitely Hokucho. And we were like, how the frick do you know that?
Yeah, that is insane how Soundstorm got. I didn't believe it at first. I was like, yeah, let's test Soundstorm. I don't think he can, but he did it like what, 98%. He guessed it right.
Oh God, he got so many right.
And not only did he just guess, he gave a reasoning behind it too. He was like, oh, this is Hokucho because this is why.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't make us do that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna be that good.
I mean, hopefully because this time everyone uses a different avatar, that it will really help you not know, or like suspect or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be looking for a team with pants. That's my thing.
But listener, I shared the link in here. That's the info for the next Dream the Beat. Oh my God, I don't know if you saw last year's one, but listener, last year's Rivals, but it's a very different format from all the previous, from all the other regular Dream the Beat shows. Rivals, it's like a special format, like very, very completely different from the regular Dream the Beat show. So I think you will like it. It's gonna be longer just because there's gonna be more contestants on it. And it's split into 2 shows. So there's a draft show, and then after the draft show, each of the captains have 4 on their team, pick 4 on their team, and then there'll be the team battle show 2 weeks later, where the team battles each other. So
The blind drafts are definitely my favorite part.
Oh,
I
it's so
love
fun.
not
Yeah.
having a face attached to the mix yet, and then
Yeah.
figuring out who it was.
And
It's really
what's crazy, I just am realizing again, all 3 of us were on the exact same team last year as well after draft,
yeah.
with the addition of Winter Wraith. So all 4 of us were on the same draft team, and we had to compete against each other to get out of the first round. It's going to be a little bit different this time, but it was super, like, can you imagine trying to compete against these guys and Winter Wraith to get out? Like, 2 of us got eliminated and had to get picked up on other teams, but it was extremely entertaining. There's a lot of drama, so it's just
Yeah.
overall really fun show.
And it's even harder to eliminate someone in rivals, like compared to regular DTBs. Rivals is harder because instead of announcing the winners, you're announcing the eliminated. So that was rough. That's tough on like the organizers, or well, I'm gonna make you guys say those names.
I'm gonna be
Take
taking a
Wait, what?
bathroom break during that. Sorry.
Yeah, I won't be there. I'm gonna step away for a minute.
I'm gonna be busy captaining. I can't do any of that host stuff. What are you talking about?
Oh man.
I've done it before. I can do it. I believe.
Okay. Next one is Skee1ball. Let me out.
Oh.
I think this has to be one of my favorite mixes of yours, Ski.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is yeah, this is the 15-hour straight one. This is kind of actually a good tip for Dream to Beat. Like, I got this concept when I was working in Dream to Beat, but I couldn't get. It just wasn't. I was trying to stuff it into a mix, and the one tip that I would ever, I don't know, I might know a thing or two about Dream to Beat, but the one thing I would ever say is if you're ever struggling with trying to make something work, just hold on to it. Like specifically in During the Beat, because you can use it for the next mix. Because you got 3 to make. But this was, yeah, I pulled this out of something that I ended up scratching for During the Beat. And then I made it into this one, and then it just it's also it's yeah, this is pretty common, but I'm not sure if like some of the new people know that are introduced to. But this is a good example of how you can modify your instruments based on what stems you have playing. There's only 2 of those filter chords throughout this whole thing, but depending on where you play it and what other things you have it paired with, you can really change the way that the song sounds. Like for the second 32, after that second 16, those are the same filter chords stems. They're just getting constantly modified by what's being already laid down, or when I'm laying them down, or when I'm lifting them up. But I wanted, yeah, I was kind of looking for something that was just like something that kind of takes off in the end and just kind of just gives you that just like sweeping feeling of just, yeah, I'm out. Yeah, just like being stuck in something, but then not necessarily like, I don't know, that kind of feeling you get when you've come to a conclusion of something, and it, like whether or not it's good or bad, it's just like you have that resolution type of thing, and that's what I was going for theme wise in this one. So
Oh, yeah, that I don't know. I felt like that mix was slightly different from the other mixes we've played tonight. Sorry, did you say did something in particular inspire this mix?
not a particular thing. It
Okay.
was just it was like I was going through my notes for During the Beat, and I noticed I had written down some type of pattern that I was like, circling like try later next to it, and then I tried it later, and that's what happened here.
Oh, okay.
Again, it's still one of those type of situations where I'm like, I don't know how many times I've loaded up this console and been like, what am I gonna do? I don't know, why am I here? What's gonna be a waste of time, and then stuff like this happens.
Spartan has a good question. Who would you keep an eye on in up and coming fuser mixes, minus the OG fuser players?
I was really excited to see Project JD maybe showing interest in UDB. I don't know if he entered or not, but I've always really liked what he comes up with in Soundstorm's streams.
I was gonna say after her recent performance in the last DTB, Stormfinch has been ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like her mixes are absolutely leveling up, and I have no shame in admitting that theirs was better than mine. And I deserve to lose in round 2 to go into the finals there, because she's been killing it lately. So I would be really excited, and am definitely keeping an eye out, and I hope she plans on joining for the next one. But yeah, it's super talented.
I have no shame admitting that hers was better than mine too.
The honorary winner.
That too. No, I'm just kidding.
The honorary winner of the previous DTB should be Stormfinch.
I would agree with them. I would hope that that someday we see some Neon Epsilon mixes in there too. I know just communicating through the live events and being up at 3 a.m. and seeing that race between Neon and I, whether I come in first or second, it's all dependent on who has it done first. But I would like to see some full-on 64-bar mixes from Neon.
For the uninitiated, Machete and Neon are they're mixers who consistently wake up every week on the day of the live set event reset, which is Thursday, right, Glenn?
It's actually Monday morning,
Monday.
3 a.m.
And it's 3 a.m. EST. So he has to wake up at 3 a.m. to get try to go in and get a perfect run on the live set event, which there's a max score. And it's either he gets it first or Neon Epsilon gets it first. I'd say Glenn probably edges him and has it closer to like 80% of the time, but there are those occasions where Neon gets it first. So they're both grind. They both go for those leaderboard spots. So it's just super interesting. It's a brothership forged in blood, and
it's fun. Sometimes my little bow comes up a little bit too short, but
sometimes he oversleeps 15 minutes, sometimes his game crashes, sometimes he loses. So
I'd say we kind of get it done between 10 to 20 minutes, and if I'm taking too long, or there's a part where you have to do custom instruments and I'm like scrambling, I'm a little hesitant. But
if you have to reset once, you're done for.
Oh yeah, it's scary.
Has anyone talked to him about possibly joining Rivals this year?
We've been talking lately, but I gotta mention it again too.
Yeah, he's got 8.5 hours, so reach out.
Yeah. So Dream the Beat Rivals draft mixes are due by end of today. So you still have time if you are still, undecided if you want to join or not. You have till end of tonight to submit your mixes via the form on the website. Or if you know of someone who you think would really enjoy being part of it, that probably don't know much about Dream the Beat, or someone who's really good, just that they never think about joining Dream the Beat, if you can convince them, I think it'd be really cool. Like you mentioned Neon. I think Neon would be good in this. Not sure if the interest level is there though.
Sure, and just for the audience, who the restrictions are just a 32 bar mix, right? They obviously can get more information off the website, but just 32 bars, and no restrictions as far as like what they're using or BPM or anything like that. They just need to make a mix that they think that they like, that they can get drafted from 32 bar.
Yeah.
But I will say, because this always catches people off guard, if you are selected and you do make the final show, one of the requirements is to make a 16 bar mix, and that's just I say that because it's a shocker for most people.
It is an undertaking. We can tell you from experience, it is quite the undertaking.
Yeah. Oh, and make sure your submission mix, you use a new avatar. Just because we want to avoid the possibility of the captains recognizing your avatar and knowing that's you. Just so that, everything is fair and neutral when they pick the mixes. We don't want people to think, oh, they picked this person because they know he's a good mixer, even if his submission mix sucks, for example. We don't want any of that. So let's cut that out of the equation and just use a new avatar for this submission mix, okay?
Yeah, it's 100% blind on the draft. So
Won't even be watching this stream. That's probably easier.
Yeah, right.
Just put a blindfold on.
Bonus points if you replicate the judge's avatar.
That would be pretty funny, actually.
I did that for flashbacks last year in my draft. I said, Flash, I'm going to steal your avatar. Is that okay? And he said, sure, that's fine. Got it to a T. Even asked him, hey, what color bracelets are you wearing? So, hey, that's always an option if you want.
All right, the next one is a Viserys. Is it Sisiri? Sisiri. I think that's how you pronounce it.
I don't know. All I see is Chinese when I see it.
Is that something he had in his fridge?
Yeah. some explaining to do about this one.
Okay, so I think the XI comes from Jimena probably.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
he. But I don't know where the Riri comes from. He Riri.
I'm gonna take a moment to address Avi here. It's just you and me here, nobody else. It's just one-on-one conversation. That should have never worked. It should absolutely have never worked, and you made it work. Don't do it again.
Final warning.
Never do it again.
Except,
Does-
oh yeah, hold
does-
on. I gotta find these notes.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, does V say anything about this mix?
Never gonna give you up.
Never,
Working
never,
like that.
never.
I will say the only other time that's really worked for me is when Spartan made me some marriage mixes and sent them my way. That's pretty good.
Marriage mixes?
Yeah.
Yeah, he made
celebrate.
some mixes for the wedding, and
Oh.
he couldn't fly out, which I was a little bummed about going across the
Yeah.
ocean, but understandable.
We all listened to them though. I will say we all.
Yeah, we did.
What was it? We were packing up to leave. We were about to go get breakfast the day before, or the day we were leaving. Right? You guys were driving
Yep.
back, and we sat in the parking lot while we were waiting for Mrs. Machete and listened to the mixes.
We listened to all Spartan's mixes that he sent
Yeah.
me. It was really cool. It was fun.
Yeah, it was. Oh, I'm so glad that I decided to go.
We
go
loved
meet
it. That
you
was such a
guys.
good time. You just loved it for the sweet tea, but it was still still good.
The sweet tea, yeah.
It was just there for the chicken parm.
Yeah,
Chicken
we
parm.
kept saying like, why isn't Soundstorm here? Oh my god.
I know.
Yeah, they didn't even burn down the villa with us. That's
Oh my
yeah.
god, the burning down of the mansion. That was terrible.
So for
Yeah.
context, the venue where they got married burned, had a fire.
Within 20 minutes of us leaving.
Yep. So
Yeah. Was not a sign, hopefully.
okay, so these notes. Just wanted to make a mix so good that people would keep rickrolling themselves over and over again. Mission successful.
What a prick.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
Oh, okay. Now I see the
Check.
Riri is from Rick. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, I get it.
I was wondering where the
Oh.
Riri came from, so I know the hee and then okay, okay, I get it now.
I think he's rickrolling us with just the name. I feel like that the name of the track is just
The listener, good. Yeah, because I read it from the listener's comment in chat. He said Rick. I'm like, oh, got it. I got it now.
burning down.
Rain on wedding
We
day.
didn't start the
is-
fire, by the way, Neo.
Yeah.
There's always burning.
Allegedly, that's what we tell our lawyers. We did not start the fire.
Yeah, we didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning.
Mhm.
Oh man, and then I don't know if you guys saw, I photoshopped our group picture in front of a
Oh my
burning mansion. Okay, so it's on. I posted it on.
It's on your Twitter background, is it?
It
not?
is my
Did you change
Twitter.
it?
Yes, it's my Twitter header. Here, I'll share it on. Here, if you go to my Twitter, it's my header. I photoshopped our group picture onto a burning mansion because that's kind of almost literally what happened in a sense, but we weren't there,
Yeah.
obviously.
Luckily, no one got hurt, which is why we can joke about it. But
Yeah. Yes.
yeah, there was.
And the mansion didn't burn down. There there was a fire that started
Yeah,
probably from like the fireplace, and then
it was.
I think,
Yeah, it was the fireplace. They determined. Yeah.
yeah, and then most of the damage actually came from the water, like the water of the firefighters hosing the fire down. So not much burning damage, but more water damage. Yeah, that's what I heard.
It's not particularly funny. The guy was really upset about it, but it's
Oh, I
not
know,
our
it was-
fault. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of just irony. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That picture is glorious.
We really did nothing to start that fire. So on the record. as long as it's there.
Okay.
Any FBI agents
so-
in the chat? Yeah.
I want to actually. Avi has some like general stuff here, just some tips
Oh,
that I
okay,
wanted
okay.
to share as well. So he says, for a full deck effect, he usually uses distortion or high pass or something with compression. The 3-channel effects I'm always going to have in his toolbox is distortion, pitch stepper, and stutter. Distortion and pitch stepper are A+ for warping and Stim's sound profile, and the stutter offers some of the great looping and transition options while live mixing. Who does that? One of Bit Crusher, oh, he's a big tremolo fan. I forgot about that too.
Oh, that flute mix. I remember.
Or pitch delay are usually the last extra bits of seasoning that spices up a track. Tremolo is one of the few ways to create your own arps and own melodies by chopping up sins that are otherwise a single long tone.
Okay.
If he was any good, he would just mute that fast, you know. But I guess if you want to cheat and use tremolo, that's fine.
Mute.
Yeah, just spam your square, your X button as fast as you can. Same effect.
Okay, so we are on our last mix on the Volume 3 album. We're ending it with coefficients, no math, just daft.
Deep cut. This is probably the oldest mix on the album.
Oh, it's one of your like older ones, huh?
Yeah, this is from last March. This is the one before me and Machete started collabing for even the back-to-back one, so it's ancient.
Oh yeah.
Wait, don't you mean that this was done in August of last year?
Yes, because Soundstorm doesn't know how long a year is, right?
It's his ambassador anniversary. Give him a break.
Absolute classic.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the first mix I heard from him, but it was still one of my favorites. That whole entire event was
so good.
What were you using in the last 8 that made that kind of wood clapping stuttering? What was making that?
I think that's just in the drum. I think it's in the
Yeah,
reminder
okay.
drum.
That's,
Yeah. And then
Nice.
obviously just echo the bass a bar early, and then yeah, this one was it's relatively Obviously, this was a lot. This is before a lot of the tech was discovered, so there's not too much that's complicated in this. It's not like impossible to replicate or anything like that. It does utilize one of those glitches I was describing per when Spartan asked. It uses that extended white noise club effects riser during like the Tron section. The first half is the Tron section, and then the last half is like the retro disco Daft Punk section, obviously. But yeah, during the Tron section, I used that little extended white noise riser using club effects, little tech for that, and yeah. Other than that, it's just some formatting on the guitar, which Skee1ball is like to coin the term unnatural. It shouldn't be a thing, but yeah, just wanted some like
The
funky
unnatural
disco.
juice.
Yeah. And then just some talk, you know, the iconic Daft Punk talk bass and some distorted vocals to add a little more high end to it. And yeah, it's overall just pretty simple. A little anti-drop, and yeah.
Simple, but
classic.
I mean, whenever you really pay attention to what's happening, like those parts where you were lowering the volume in certain points just so it wasn't too loud, just because the game has those certain parts. But I mean, paying attention to those little details are what make it that much better too.
Yeah.
I really like that we ended on this one too because like that event was it was still early and it was like in March, but it just felt like that community just grew together with that event. Like we all knew each other and we all kind of talked to other, but this one was like for me at least personally, I was like I feel a part of something when that event happened, and a lot of that had to do with the the mixing of animated did where he stitched them all together and then he left out Avi, which was just the perfect part of it. But actually, Avi's intro was really great too. I really love that one. But then on top of that, like to expand on that one, the rivals is what really brought the three of us together. And then we ended up going to this guy's wedding like a few months after that.
Yeah.
So like having this being involvement around rivals and then ending on that mix. I really like that.
Avi was on vacation in Hawaii or somewhere, but
Right.
yeah, the rest of us got together.
Yeah, he's can't be here because he's traveling. Yet he couldn't travel to to the wedding. So I don't know. I think he just doesn't like us. He's not here.
No, his agenda is probably like a year out, so he didn't have enough time probably.
Yeah, that's what SoCal living does to you. Except here's Spitfire. I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
We'll do it again sometime. Not the wedding part, but
yeah, in general, rivals has been like such its last rival, the first rivals, and we're hoping this rivals turns out to be like an opportunity to meet and become closer to the community, because it was definitely like Skee1ball says, a jumping off point where we were able to become a lot closer, and we were able to talk more openly about our music and how we play the game, and it's led to some good friendships. And I play VR games with Machete all the time. I play other games with Skee1ball all the time, and we all chat about stuff, and
we all just play mind games with Avi. So
exactly,
we absolutely shit on Avi all the time.
True. So you take this as an opportunity to not only stretch your legs and flex a little bit in Fuser, but also to meet people who could become good friends of yours. So yeah, and you get to work with us, and we're hoping to become good friends with all of the people on our team. So not and that can extend beyond music. So I think it'll be a really good show. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah, Machete, you need to get married again, so
we can bring more
I
people.
will I was pretty
vow.
proud of having Rock Band at the wedding, but I figured out why we didn't have all the thousands.
Yeah,
what happened?
Next time, it wasn't my home Xbox. It wasn't set there, and the internet didn't work at the wedding venue because it was on fire. So there was
Fair.
that, but no,
that's tragic.
But next time for the anniversary, we'll get together and play some Rock Band.
Yeah.
Renew
some vows. You don't have to get married again. Just renew your vow.
Yeah, there you go.
Can we get it
every year just so we can all get together and get some people in chat to come over? we'll do a world tour so Spartan can be involved too.
Come
Maybe,
to the Machete Val renewal. It's just $500 entry fee, so we can afford some venues and stuff.
So we can get.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to have like a user / Dream the Beat kind of convention of like small gathering sort of thing, you know?
Oh yeah,
That'd be kind of cool.
Where you can greet the winner on the lobby when he comes down and wakes up for the next day and he's all hungover.
Oh yeah, imagine having a Dream the Beat live, like everyone, all contestants are present. Oh my god.
Oh god, no. We would, all three of us would absolutely bottle that. We are not live performers in any capacity.
No.
Well, I think she just means like present. Like we wouldn't do the recording
Even then, the
live.
pressure is on. We made Skee1ball play in front of a room at Glenn's wedding party, and
It was a disaster.
yeah, exactly. He'll
Yeah.
tell you himself. His mixes were
I'm not
terrible.
good at live. This isn't even live. This is recorded from 2 weeks ago. This video of us.
Got him.
Got him.
Good. We got those questions staged.
We staged, we staged Spartan for questions.
Yeah.
So, do we wanna? Well, Skee1ball, you mentioned that you had panpipes in your DTB 9 finals. Was it? Maybe. Let's wanna find out if you're right. Let's find out.
Sure. I'm probably wrong.
She just casually has it on file.
Let's see.
He already knows.
When I'm drowning in the midnight, I try to mend my broken heart. I could tell you what it feels like, I'm trying to shoot straight in the dark.
I believe you owe her a sweet tea, sir.
So it was a hot clip. It was hot clip. This is what it was. Us, yeah.
Sure.
It was a hot. Oh, I didn't even hear any panpipes in the hot clips.
No, there
but-
wasn't. I was.
I love
That
it.
was cute. So I will say though that second 24 drop is probably the best drop I've ever done in any of my mixes, and that's I don't ever talk about anything like that, and I'm just gonna stop talking.
Oh, but yeah, I was like, my heart was like racing listening to this because I'm like, please don't have any panpipes because I want to win. I want to be right.
Yeah. I was definitely confusing it for that, because there's so many other. It was just custom reds in there that nobody sent. And just,
Yeah, of the,
She's like,
of the,
okay,
like
yeah,
four of the
Sure.
4 lead instruments that are reds, you happen to use 2 that were not panpipes.
The marimba was good though, in it. Spartan, you said I have made a mix for you, as in like the old mix. Are you
Ooh.
referring to an old mix or like it's a new one, like recently, like today, yesterday, kind of recent ones? But yeah, I mean, thank you everyone for being you know, for dropping by the stream, for chatting and getting to know your captains. I hope you got to know them a little bit more, make the decision if more than one captain chooses you on their team, that it will help you. Well, they'll get to fight for you on the day itself as well. But I am super excited, and Soundstorm is going to have a stream tonight. I probably won't be able to. Oh my god, the listener.
Oh.
The listener, thank you so much. Oh my god. Okay, I need to give the listener a shout out. Okay, so I was on one of the streamers, her name is Felicity. She had a game show, a Twitch game show with her community, and I was in a team with the listener. So that's how I know him. We played some games together online. Thank you, the listener. I really appreciate that. Okay, so yeah, Soundstorm is having a stream tonight. I probably won't be able to drop by because as soon as this stream ends, I'm gonna go to the casino with my mom. Hopefully I win money, you guys.
Good luck.
Let me win money.
You got it.
Don't lose money.
Don't lose money yet.
Yeah. But I always set a limit. Usually my limit is like $200 or $300. Once I like lose that money, I stop.
That's what they say.
Yeah. No.
That's only a losing limit. Don't set a limit on what you can win, because you can definitely get
That's how you end up throwing away like $3,000 in winnings, and you end up losing 300 at the end of the day.
Do any of you go to the casino?
We don't have any near us, so not here in the south at least. I don't know.
Okay.
Machete, do you have?
I gamble every time I mention having another wedding, and then
and then pray Mrs. Machete.
downstairs.
Yeah, pray Mrs. Machete doesn't watch this stream.
Yep.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like slot machines, but I actually like the
roulette. Are you?
No,
card games,
I
or-
like
Total craps, man.
Horse
all the way.
races.
yes. There you go,
Yeah.
craps.
Horsemen.
I was trying to.
Oh, fight it.
I was only joking, but all right.
No. I like the craps one where you roll the dice and
craps.
then I'm not like super familiar with the extensive rules, but because the guy is there and he'll let me know when I win. So
Yeah.
Trust them.
I mean, that's the thing
Don't
about
trust them.
the thing about craps is it's like you can bet on literally everything that happens or gets rolled. So it's just like you just put money down on something and then blame the guy who did because he didn't randomly roll what you wanted.
I love Texas Hold'em poker. I just don't really play them. I don't play them at casino because I don't think I don't know how casinos ones are like, but I love holding gatherings, like, get friends to come. And then we have like I did it before where I did the Red Dead theme. So all of us were dressed up in like the Red Dead kind of like cowboys and like stuff like that. Like I decorated everything. I think I shared some pictures with maybe Skee1ball. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, and then everyone had to do a $5 buy-in. So they had to, I was the banker, everyone gave me $5, and then I'll distribute chips worth $20, I think. So I get $5 real life money, and then you get $20 worth of chips. And then we were playing Texas Hold'em poker, and then at the end of the day, you convert back, and then whoever wins get the money, kind of thing.
That's awesome. We should do that in real life. We should meet up. That should be our next one.
Yes.
Except now with the dressing up part, I know if we invite Avi, he'll probably show up at this one and he'll only be wearing chaps, and then he would.
At this point, I'm ready to just make a cardboard cutout of Avi and just carry it around.
But yeah, thank you so much for today, you guys. Your time.
Thanks for hanging out, chat.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
Remember, your mixes are due tonight, by end of tonight, if you plan on being part of Dream the Beat. And if you do submit, make sure you're available for both dates, the draft show day and the team battle day. All right. And for those who make it past draft show, you get picked by a captain to be on their team. You need to prepare 3 mixes for the team battle. So not right now. Don't prepare it right now until you are confirmed to be in a spot. You need to prepare 3 mixes for the team battle. The first one being a 16 bar mix. Second one being a 32 bar mix. And then the third one being a 64 bar mix. So just something to keep in mind, that because like Coefficient mentioned earlier, that a lot of people were like, oh my god, I have to make a 16 bar, what the heck, you know? So better you know now.
That was
than...
us. Yeah, that was us last year.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? How do we do a 16? But you find a way. You find a way.
Yeah.
And we'll be there to help you. So, you know.
Yes, that's what the captains are for. That's what's different from the regular Dream the Beat, because the regular Dream the Beat, we just have special judges, guest judge, and they're just there to, on the spot, critique or give feedback of the mixes and then vote. But whereas the captains for Rivals, you actually have 2 weeks to work with your captains on your mixes. So when you create a mix, you're like, hey captain, listen to this. What do you think? Should I change this? Should I add this? And then the captains were like, how about if you drop this here and like blah blah blah, you know? So I think it will really help you into, I mean, think of it like The Voice, you know, where they have a coach like Christina Aguilera, you know, Blake Shelton, all helping you prepare your performance for the show, right? So think about it like that. Yeah, I think you should really think about joining if you are on the fence about it. Oh, we should block that guy, Eduardo.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my ban.
Ban. Okay. Well, okay, thank you everyone. Okay, who shall we raid? Is anyone
Ooh.
Is anyone? Oh, I don't. None of my friends are really on right now.
Who are we gonna raid? I got my little bow ready. I'm ready to raid whoever we want. This is good.
I don't think. Does anyone have anyone they want me to read? Let's see. Let's see. If
All my
anyone's...
friends are here.
Why do they always show up in the end of streams?
True.
Yeah, there's not. There's one Dan Teremis 666
on Fuser.
Yeah, I mean I've never heard of him, but he's Spanish though. Spanish player. I don't know who to. I could do a what Beat Saber raid, I guess.
There you go.
Since I'm in the Beat Saber community. Let's see. DJ Whisper. Let's do this. DJ Whisper. Let's do him. Right. So let me copy, and then this is my raid message. If you guys can copy paste it, I have 2 raid messages, so you can raid. Thanks for the bonus track to prove you wrong. Okay.
Thank you for having us, Miss Spitfire.
Oh no, of course. I'm so happy
Yeah,
you guys
thank
were
you so
able
much.
to make it. I'm glad. Thank you for being available.
One down, 2 to go.
Yeah, and the CDs and everything. And,
Oh, you're welcome.
this is judges. It's gonna be super fun. Can't
amazing.
wait for the show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The touch on this show so far has just been perfect. The design, the posters, everything.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
That.
Can't wait till
Alrighty.
Avi to come ruin it. So.
Yes, Avi. Oh my god.
Avi.
He already has.
He already had.
Alright. Bye everyone. I love you.
See
Bye.
you guys. Bye, chat.
I love you guys.
Bye.
Bye. See ya. How do I leave? I don't know.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so we are successfully rated, so we're off.
So you can just